Hi everyone! Welcome aboard to my version of the Space Battleship Yamato in Star Trek Online. So in this video I'll be talking about the history of this build, all the bridge officers' uniforms, the ship build itself, and finally we're going to test in Argala for, I guess, performance. Alright, so starting out, my character's dressed in the captain long coat that the captains and admirals in the show wear with white trousers. So as you guys can see, there's way more than three division colors in my crew, as the Yamato has multiple division colors. So starting out, 0718 is in blue and white, and so is Daisuke. They are in the science division. Here we have Aliza Flores in red and white for tactical, and Heikuro in orange and white for engineering. Saburo is in black and yellow for operations. Here we have Astro again in engineering, so orange and white. And Akira in green and white for navigation, so helmsman and, well, navigator. And finally Shiroe in orange and black for logistics and civilians. So not included on my ship, on my bridge is, let's see, Samut for medical in their red and white t-shirt, and for security, gray and black, so Kaoru. So I was going to make all the bridge officers human, but then I was thinking, hey, it's the 25th century. Let's get a few extraterrestrials in here. But the human characters are all, well, almost all the human characters are named after the characters in the show. So we can say they're descendants of the characters. As for the captain, he does have a bio. Max commands the mighty battleship Yamato, Space Battleship Yamato. It is not known of which incarnation his Yamato is, but the ship wears its name proudly. This particular Yamato was built with the latest technology of the early 25th century, and as a result, it appears slightly different than previous incarnations. Yamato, liftoff! Or in Japan, Yamato, Hashin! Alright. As for firearms, I've opted for the Mirror Universe dual pistols, as their long barrel looks similar to the ones used in the show. Wow, why are my character's hands shaking like that? That's weird. You can still get them in the Phoenix box, but they were originally from Terran events. I believe it was Terran Universe Invasion. Right, okay. So let's go back to, let's go to space to check out the ship and the ship build. So I won't be covering the entire ship build, mostly just the parts that are relevant to the show, so the weapons basically. Um, and yeah, they may not match up perfectly as, Star Trek Online is Star Trek Online, Space Battleship Yamato is their separate franchises. Oh right, I forgot to mention how I got into Space Battleship Yamato. So 2 years ago, I was looking for an anime that I suppose looked like Star Trek or had Star Trek-like themes. So this is a sci-fi anime, but I think it's more like Battlestar Galactica, like single ship traveling through a cosmos, escaping enemies, trying to get home. Well, Yamato is going to a planet to retrieve a certain trinket, and then returning back to Earth. Anyways, for the base, I'm using the Rizian Luxury Cruiser, which I think is the only ship in the game that remotely looks like a seafaring vessel. So I colored the keel red, and then I colored the hull gray, and of course the obligatory smokestacks. And I added some battle paint, as I thought it looked kind of boring without them. And of course, being the luxury cruiser, there's the beach inside. Alright, let's look at the build. So, the Yamato has shock cannons in three barrels per turret. Unfortunately, Star Trek Online doesn't have that kind of weapon, so I opted for 2 turrets. So the twin phaser beams are a good substitute for that. You can get these at the K-13 fleet holdings. And of course the Yamato has missiles, but in Star Trek, missiles are somewhat primitive. I know there's the Kantari and Ferengi missiles, but I opted for photon torpedoes. And these are also from the Fleet Starbase. And the ship has anti-aircraft turrets, but the weapons in Star Trek are relatively accurate, as seen in the TNG episode. I don't recall which one, but we see the Enterprise D swat a few small craft. So I didn't add any anti-aircraft cannons to this. Not that there's any space for that. And of course, the wave motion gun is obligatory, but we don't I can't think of any good substitutes for that in Star Trek Online, so I opted for the heavy graviton beam from the Mako set of Task Force Omega. If you guys know a better weapon that can substitute for the wave motion gun and does a decent amount of damage, let me know in the comments below. And of course, for visuals, I added the Soul Defense Impulse engines for the fiery impulse trails. So they also, the ship also has a special warp effect, which I added, so let's go check that out. So I'm using the Mako set's impulse engine's asynchronous warp to create a, well, a separate warp, well, not separate, enhanced warp animation. So it's pretty cool, I guess. Oh yeah, and the luxury cruiser has solar sails, which the Yamato doesn't, but it's part of the ship. Can't remove that. Alright, let's do Argala and show off the ship. So I will be silent during the combat demonstration, but I will be using all the weapons, and if I can, the heavy graviton beam or the wave motion gun. Here we go. Oh, wrong key. I will be skipping over dialogue, because that's not part of this review, so... Oh right, and of course Yamato's written at the back of the ship. It's pretty cool.
Entered an area controlled by the... Looks like our fight got them to notice us. Let's go over and ask if their boss might come out of hiding.
Of course, with the Yamato's space as an ocean theme, I've also added the Soliton wave generator, which creates, well, waves, and it's part of this ship's console set. So here we go.
party, take the suspect into custody. Thank you for your assistance, and welcome to this...
Alright guys, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and share. Ring that notification bell if you want to be notified when I post my next video. And thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye!